I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jesse.
We're Cannabis School. Having cannabis-infused conversations
With everyday people,
cannabis companies,
celebrities,
and your mom.
welcome to the sesh.
Hell yeah. So today, we've got the Great Prophet Ruth.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, right? Don't yuck someone's yums. You know, only to the first knuckle. Only to the first knuckle. Is that that's one of your sayings?
I don't know. I'm sure I've said it, and it probably stuck with Brandon more than me, and it's just some fucking stupid thing one off.
I'm just kidding. I'm just fucking around. No, but I mean, that's... You're such a good sport. I love it.
Yeah, don't yuck somebody's yums. We have some shirt ideas that we came up with too, and there's some variations of Prophet Ruth and Pope Ruth, and looks nothing like Trump. Way better. So.
Yeah, but we just love your surliness. I mean, you just don't give a fuck, and you know there needs to be more people out there right now who give less fucks, because it's just, I don't know, it's just so full of just nonsense. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, honestly, I just try to keep to myself because it's not really my fucking business.
Yeah, I know. That's what's funny.
At the same time, sometimes it's just hard as a more, like, I don't want to say I'm sensitive, but I can be kind of sensitive to other people's like energy. I'm just like, I don't want your shitty energy up in my business.
Yeah.
Yeah, shitty people are hard to deal with sometimes, and having them around all the time, you just kind of need a break. Did you come up with the saying, don't yuck somebody's yums?
Honest to God, I think I found it like in some deep, dark Tumblr vlog years ago.
That makes sense. Sorry, this last strain is still like kind of sitting in my eyes.
Dude, this is starting to kick in pretty good. I like it a lot.
I'm still waiting on it.
It's pretty heady.
Yeah, it's very heady. But the last one
strain
was
was
just
super
like,
heady.
it hit you with like a sledgehammer.
But like a very different kind of heady.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like made you stupid heady.
Yeah, you wanted to go to sleep on that. I definitely could have taken a nap on it, and I feel fantastic.
You've had your medical card here for like almost a year? 6 months?
It's actually, been a little over a year now.
Holy shit.
Because I renewed it back in like February.
Yeah. You got yours for PTSD though.
Actually, they actually kind of discourage that, especially this year, because it requires a lot more paperwork. And when I was speaking with my therapist, she is not the one that is prescribing for me or anything. She cannot do that. But
Yeah.
she would have to be the one to give me the PTSD diagnosis. And because it's almost on a per case basis, kind of for what I understood when they were checking me in, they've said, you also had chronic pain marked down, so probably want to move towards that because it
Yeah, it's an
requires less
easier-
documentation. And
Yeah. That's crazy.
it's kind of a stupid system because I feel like it does help with some of my anxiety and stuff that I do have from, like, I do have like PTSD around like relationship stuff, some issues with that, but it really just helps like being more chatty and everything.
You feel like you have to kind of shelter yourself away from other people, protect yourself. You said something about energy earlier.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I have to have a different persona,
Okay.
like to deal with
Yeah, you have to wear a
professional
mask.
business life, stuff like that. And when I'm elevated, it does feel a lot more easy to break past that and just be more friendly and more open.
I mean, it's way easier than trying to drink at work.
Yeah.
Because for some reason that's frowned upon. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I make stupider decisions when I drink.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, even stupider. Right?
Yes. Oh yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely been I'm not going to bring that up. Yeah, we're going to continue to something else.
NDA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're talking about, I mean, you had traumatic, and I don't want to go too far into it, wherever you're comfortable, but, you know, thinking about it, it's super common, but on the self-medicating side, have you figured out, like, what works for you really well at what times, and have you had some pretty negative experiences where you're like, fuck me,
I mean, in what way, fuck me?
I don't want to be this high right now?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like fairly recently, I had an issue with an edible that kind of, like, I maybe didn't have, like, the right cut on it or something. And
It was
took
the
a little
gummies.
Yeah, some
Oh,
gummies.
yeah.
And like,
Which one was
There-
it? The red, the green, or the
It
purple?
was like the purple, I want to say.
Yeah, okay.
Because what happened, I was like, oh God, I accidentally just took a whole edible. I'm like, it's fine. And then I think what set me spiraling was initially, like, I was like, oh no, that was a half of one.
Yeah, you thought too much about it.
Yeah, I got in like a cycle of it, and I was like, oh no.
So
Okay.
when your body was already sensitive to the feeling of fear, like, fuck, what's going to happen, right? I mean, the worst case scenario, you wake up the next day, you have an OnlyFans account. maybe some money, right? but
I've never had that type of edible experience.
Well, they don't make that dose for you, sir. It's like, like everybody else has like a packet of gummy bears. They have a big giant fucking cinnamon gummy bear.
You've seen the
that's all
tub
full of THC
of concentrate that comes out, and it's just like a straight.
Oh
barrel.
yeah, it's like
that's Brandon's dose for that,
right? It's just like it looks like Winnie the Pooh. Oh, Christopher Robin, thank you for the honey.
I don't know. So how long have you been on your journey now with cannabis?
Oh, like including recreationally, probably.
What do you mean by recreationally?
Before it was legal in Utah for medical.
Did you just use it for just to get high?
That's how it started.
Okay.
And like I feel like that's how a lot of people's journey with cannabis can start. But I just found that it's easier to be my more authentic self. I still almost kind of just use it like an as needed like medicine. It's not like an all the time thing, because I know that some of my like shell is protective for me and it helps me get things done.
Oh, okay. So are there certain strains that kind of help to build that shelter in a way?
Definitely like for more social things, obviously like more talkative sativas and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do sometimes still have issues with sleeping or like night terrors, so I do have like indicas.
Wow.
Have you found a specific strain that you like that works for
honestly,
either?
One of my favorites, I think it's actually a hybrid. It would be Blue Dream.
Oh yeah.
I like Blue Dream. Also, I cannot remember the name. I think it's another blue. Like it's like Blue Zittles, I think.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
That one's very like sweet and it's almost desserty.
Yeah, the candy strains are very, very sweet.
Oh
ones.
yeah, it's like glazed apricot gelato.
Yeah,
And
that
it's
one's
fresh.
very sweet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, that's cool. So now you've gotten to the point where you know what strains will do what.
Yeah.
So you're not just going to take a joint from somebody at somewhere and going, yeah, I'll puff on that, or maybe you will. If the mood strikes you.
Involved, yeah, probably.
Oh, so being crossfaded's okay? You do okay with that?
It's a certain, like, I have to be...
There's a nice level.
Yeah, it's a level. Because after a certain point, it's a spins.
Yeah. It's usually like one drink or so, and then some water, and, a bunch of smoking.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. I mean, usually it's at our get-togethers when all the friends are hanging out, and I'm sure she does it on other times too, but it's very common that we'll have, like, a drink. Some of us more than others, and then, the rest of us like to kind of smoke a lot. So there can be a nice balance to a crossfade. You just very much have to understand your relationship to alcohol, cannabis, and like find that fine line between them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's, I think you and I take it for granted because of how many different strains we've smoked and now how many different things, but it's really cool to hear from your perspective. It's just like, hey, I started out recreationally, but I almost find it like a way of like, I don't want to be like hardcore nature guy, super granola you hear, but it's almost like it's pulling you towards it, because once you start, like other than like your brother who had a horrible first experience, I mean, when you felt it, you were like, yeah, like it almost like an unintentional medicine that just kind of got into your like, oh yeah. And medicine being like anxiety inducing, you don't want to be able to open up with other people.
Yeah, and it's like obviously being intoxicated with alcohol can give you a similar thing, but I didn't feel like I was as out of control when I'm elevated versus with alcohol where I just feel like everything's going wild, like the world's spinning and everything's great, but it's like I'm not going to remember any of this and it's going to be so hollow.
Yeah. It doesn't have the same connection versus you can, like you said, you can be your more authentic self with cannabis because you can still let go of the anxieties and the stresses that life and that brings along with it, and still allow that side of you to show forth without, not forgetting it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I made way different decisions just because of that difference, and like way more. God, I don't know. How has cannabis changed like the way you talk to yourself?
It definitely has softened me in a lot of ways. I mean, even Emily could probably tell like a comparable difference from when we first met to now. And I think obviously there's a relationship that grew there, but I've also feel like I've changed as a person. Like even when I'm not elevated or anything, I feel like I can make a more authentic connection now.
I like to say that I think you've grown a lot in the 6 years that I've known you.
Oh, 6 years, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Well, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, I've been with Emily for 6 years. Like that's
Collectively, we've had some experiences.
Yes, that's I was like, okay. I'm not going to that side of drinking because holy shit, alcohol is I
Dude,
threw up everywhere, and
I saw this comedian. He was like, think about the worst experience you had on weed. And then everybody starts laughing. They go, now talk about the worst experience you had in alcohol. Yeah, which one was funny and which one was horrible?
Yeah,
Yep.
like even some of the scarier like moments I've had where I've taken too much of an edible or something, I still just look back on it. I'm like, in the moment I was scared, but in reality I was like, what did I do? I laid on my floor and I got a little upset and I crawled under a blanket. Like,
Yeah. In reality, that moment you were truly safe. Like you were okay, but the like perception of that moment is terrifying so much.
psychologically, it's like all of a sudden something can just hit you and you
Yeah.
just feel like, oh my God, something's wrong. But nothing is. It's
Yeah.
just, for me, it's like a self-distancing of, if I'm getting too comfortable, something bad has to happen.
Oh, wow.
So you don't feel safe when things feel okay.
Yeah, it's just...
You
dude,
grew up
like-
in a trauma environment?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to like downplay like
No.
anything, but it's like reality growing up for me wasn't physically bad. Like there wasn't like physical abuse, but it was
Doesn't
a lot of
have to be.
narcissism and stuff like that. And it's like I still care about my parents, but it's kind of in a weird...
My wife went
Right.
through a very similar thing with her father. So I totally get that because it's that pain is so incredibly horrible. It's undescribable to somebody else. I mean, you can't describe it in physical pain because it's emotional abuse that was completely protected under the guise of help or benevolence or being
like-
there for you.
In going to therapy and learning some things, I don't want to blame them like entirely because they were raised obviously not in a great conductive environment either. And
True.
It's a generational thing, so it's passed down.
But you want to
Yeah.
break the cycle.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's hard. It's really difficult. I've had to watch my wife deal with that for many years now. I mean, a lot of therapy and, I can only imagine how that is. So yeah, that's one of the things that my wife says about cannabis is like when she does therapy, she uses an edible because she can open up because she's so used to just keeping everything here and guarded. And that's where the tough exterior comes from.
Yeah.
Right. But no, that's really cool. I would say I've noticed a huge difference
Yeah. Well,
in you.
it's like I feel like we don't meet. You and I don't see each other as much as
No.
me and Brandon because you don't always come to every get together or whatever. But
Right.
yeah, that's impressive to me in a way that even somebody who's kind of still more of a stranger noticed that over the years.
Well, I am real. I can notice a huge difference in you now compared to when I first met you as Wednesday Addams, where you had this dark cloud over you all the time. And I could see why. Because later on in the evening, you'd open up. You were fucking funny as hell. You've got the same kind of dark sense of humor that I do. So I'm like, ha ha ha, ha. Like that's funny, right? And other people are like, oh my God, why would you say that? And I'm just like, no, that's hilarious. Because we find everything about life hilarious. But it's just cool because you have a brightness about you right now. I mean, I understand you got a guy. Mm-hmm. How's that going?
It's going great, honestly.
Is he in cannabis too?
Unfortunately, he can't. He has a CDL, so he is unable to partake.
I don't think he even drink. Did he,
He
drink?
does drink.
Okay. Just not. Yeah. He wasn't straight laced. He just can't use cannabis because of his
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
It's like when you met him, he's like, I don't want to drink tonight because
Yeah.
I have work tomorrow, and I'm like,
That
understandable.
totally makes sense. Yeah. But we only met him. Emily and I only met him the once so far. But
He has a very
he's got a very unique schedule.
yeah.
Is he over the road?
No, he
Is he local?
He's local.
Cool. What company you work for?
I don't think he wanted to be like.
No, that's fine.
But-
But it's a local trucking company.
It's not local. It's a national company, but it's like a local.
We can just
Hubs.
cut it
Yeah.
out.
No, we're not going to say anything. No need. Yeah, it is because I've got a friend who owns one, and his brother,
Yeah.
who's like my brother, he recently died from alcoholism. The guy was really bad, really really bad. But yeah, that I understand the chaotic schedule of a local trucker compared to an over the road. Because if it's over the road, it's pretty set schedule.
Yeah, it's like I think one of my like coworkers' brothers says it's like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yeah, it's just living on the road. Like,
That's brutal.
Well, but I mean, there's a lot of really cool options too because if she's like, hey, I want to go with you. He's like, yeah, jump in my cab.
Yeah.
Like, I got a bed, I got all sorts of shit. And, you know, it'd be fun, like, every once in a while to do that. But if it's a local, it's not that way. He's just like, just moving freight.
He could, if he wanted to, eventually move to like long haul. But right now, he's not. Like, he's union.
Why? Yeah,
he's union, so he's not
great.
high on the board yet. But he's like, I've thought about it because I do get paid more, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Versus local, and he's like, I've thought about it, but I'm not like committed to it yet.
No, but it's cool. I mean, it's great that he has that because, like, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know what to do. You know, my tech job disappeared. Like, hey, look, freight's still moving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't do it. It's a brutal job.
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to work at that guy's trucking yard every Saturday, all weekend. Yeah, Friday and Saturday, I cleaned the trucks. But the cabs were disgusting because these truckers would just piss directly into the seat.
Ew.
Because they got to hit their time. If they hit their time, they get their bonus. So these guys are doing meth on the road. I mean, yeah, dude, it's...
Holy shit.
Yeah, because they got to stay up. They got to move.
I mean, it's definitely been cracked down on in more recent years.
Yes. But back in the day, man, like when I was a kid, it was gross. And there would be these couples. There's these giant couples that look like South Park characters. And that whole cab just... Oh, dude, I brought in Scott. And I'm like, dude. He goes, oh, my God. He's like, I have to replace the seats.
That's so gross.
But it was that bad. And he was like, hey, you guys destroyed these seats. I'm taking that money out of your check.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, like, I still feel like that's a bad stereotype that happens. But it's like, I feel like most people are just trying to make a living now.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot in my line of work. I do work in finance. I see a lot of, like, people in trucking salary. I'm like, wow, did I really make the right choice with my life?
Yeah, I know, right? But you make good money, and why not? Why not be on time? Now they put a lot of roadblocks and laws in there to keep them from being able to hit those markers, so they have to get more regulated. But still, it's a tough job, man. I couldn't. You definitely couldn't with your back.
No, and they like restrict cannabis, so there's no way.
Yep.
Yeah, I would never even apply for anything like that.
Well, like,
Yeah.
just to be respectful, like, I don't really smoke around him or anything because he's not paranoid about it, but it's like I am. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, that would lose his whole livelihood
Yeah.
if like somehow he popped for anything on like a test or anything.
That's okay.
Yeah, and they test them pretty regularly.
Yes, very regular.
Yeah. So do you have like a sesh ritual, or are you more of like a chaotic?
Oh, I'm chaos.
Just whenever.
Chaos, yeah. Like, that's why I like vape so much. I'm terrible. I'll just be like, okay, grocery store time. Like, just quick. All right, gotta go.
Oh, it's so convenient. Like the dirty carts, like they're so terrible, but at the same time, when I'm like, all right, I've got to go. I'm just gonna do this real fast and run out the door, and that's it. It's the convenience thing of like, instead of, hey, I'm gonna load a bowl, I'm gonna go out back, I'm gonna smoke it, I'm gonna chill for, however long will I do that. It takes way too much time.
Well, like, if I'm just gonna have a chill night in, I'll get like a vape up, like the big old fancy ones, and I'll just sit there and like slowly puff on it instead of chaos. But chaos is how I live my day-to-day life.
I mean, I think many of us live a very chaotic structure. So
Yeah, but I enjoy that chaos. Like if it's too predictable, I just get really, really just passive, and I don't want to do anything.
Yeah, I feel that and understand that. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, you can't run on like adrenaline all the time. It's just not good for you.
No, not necessarily that, but it's like in work, in anything you do. I mean, if it's something that if you're a person that needs variety and you thrive in that area, great, then that should be your focus. If you can just sit there and focus on the task and get it done, dang, my hat's off to you, because that's not me. But it's knowing who you are, and that's what I've learned through cannabis, because I used to be more of like I could do everything.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, bro, chill out. What the fuck, bro? It's just one or two things.
Yeah, I kind of choose to like, I don't want to say like split my time, but I split my time between those two. It's like I can be really locked in at work. Like, I'm very professional. I do my best I can. But then after work, I'm like, no, I'm going to be the stereotypical stoner. I'm just going to sit there and be like, yeah, this is a really nice painting. Like, I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
is that what created your little Etsy shop with all your shirts and stuff, was just being incredibly high? And
Kind of. some of it is very like black metal inspired, which is gonna sound kind of weird. I find a lot of joy in black metal, and it's just very guttural and primal, and it's just like mayhem. I'm not sure if you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm huge into metal
music, and it just is feeling, and sometimes you just need that anger or like that happiness or something like that from like different music.
Yeah, I honestly like that's probably the most calming music to me.
Oh yeah.
Because I relate to the feeling, because it's not like I love how like even my dad when I was younger, long time ago in the 80s, my dad was mad at me because I was listening to Metallica on a cassette tape. Because he worked at the state hospital and there was a patient who was crazy as fuck.
And he listened to Metallica.
So my dad in his immigrant mind, he's like, hey, this is bad. We're going to have this in the house. This is corrupt your soul.
I bet the song just made him nauseous.
No, I mean, it was like Fade to Black. I mean, it's not this like crazy hardcore song, right?
I was like a free-range child with music. My parents did not review my music choices at all. They're like, oh, we bought your first parental advisory CD in American Idiot. Like, whatever, it's fine. That's not that bad.
Your parents bought it for you, though.
Oh, yeah. Like, my parents, unfortunately, are very surface level aware of a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it's like they want to be the best people they can be, but they're just like, all right, like, I guess, like, I don't agree with these, like, stupid punk kids singing this, but whatever. My parents are, like, at this point in their 50s when I'm like 15.
Yeah. So
they have this very like past generational mindset of just like, well, she'll grow out of it.
So they're disconnected.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Did your parents check out your music most of the time, or like?
Only if they heard. I mean, when I was like from 8 until 10.
I don't remember my parents ever going through my music,
which is hilarious in your
because
house.
My parents and I had
so funny.
I had
like Auschwitz over there,
yes.
like with content.
Well, what's weird? So what's really weird is because I feel like my parents are so much older than like our average generation's parents.
Right.
They were worried about me listening to 9 Inch Nails, which just made me listen to them anyways.
Yeah. My parents.
Because my mom's like, I hate 9 Inch Nails. They're the most depressing music I've ever heard. And because like my cousin, who's like 10 years older than me, like went hardcore to 9 Inch Nails, and he was like time appropriate for it, but she's stuck like 10 years behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so like she was worried about things that were already in the past.
Yeah,
like that's how I got so free range with the internet. Like goddamn, like the early internet,
man,
nope, not child friendly.
We had filters on everything. It was like, oh, you searched for car, I better type in this password because the internet's blocked. Right? Yeah, it was terrible. So that's funny though. Very hands off as far as any of that.
So it's like I'm like, I don't know what the fuck like could have happened to me if I wasn't smarter. Like,
do you think cannabis has changed your relationship with your parents at all?
Yes and no. The problem with my parents is, again, they're very conservative, very like old fashioned. They are like so against cannabis. But the problem there's a little bit of hypocrisy there with my mom. My older brother has a medical card, I found out, and she's like, oh. But, like, she supports him, but then she'll, like, turn to me and be like, I can't believe they're legalizing this, and, like, all these things. I'm like, what does it hurt you? Like, what does it do? And then I'm like, clearly you're supportive of one person in your family doing it, but you're telling me you hate it, so I'm like, okay, you obviously hate it, you just don't want to talk shit on.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I feel like many parents probably have double standards in certain aspects that they might not even realize.
Well, especially that culture, that time period. These people were more of, here's what this is what the television is telling us, and we always listen to the glowing box.
Yeah.
You know, everybody, I mean, it was a sacred thing. You didn't have many channels.
Well, because that's what the special book said, is the glowing box is what God speaks to you from. Well,
but beyond that, it's just like, you know, I grew up during a time where I had there were 6 channels on the TV, right? I'm almost 50. And so I'm not almost, my wife would be very mad if I said
I'm
got a ways 46. I'm 4 years away, and it's going faster. But during that time, it wasn't like you could just watch it like it is now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, even my generation, if you didn't have cable, you had what? 13 channels?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, if you got a good
and the
signal,
WB kind of came in.
Mine was my first introduction to South Park was actually on some like I want to say it was almost like a bootleg channel.
Oh,
you could barely pick it up if you like turn the antenna.
That's hilarious.
And that was like my first introduction to South Park.
My first introduction to South Park, I was in the Navy, and they were watching it on TV, and they're like, "Look at these stupid cartoons," and everybody was laughing, and it was just like, that was a long ass time, dude. That was a long.
Mine was I was being homeschooled because I got kicked out of Timpview for not going to class, and my mom was down the hall on the other end of the house in the office, and she always wears slippers because she's always cold, so you can always hear her walking down the hall. So since my school was on DVDs and they would mail them out every week, I would switch inputs when she was down the hall. I would watch MTV, I would watch South Park or whatever was on.
It's insane to me that you used to just be able to DVD school. You're like, all right, here's your DVD for the day.
Yep.
Click, click, click.
And I watch it and I was like, okay, send in these homework and these tests. Okay, cool. Yep, you did your school. Like, so my mom would be down at the other end doing work and office stuff, and I'd just switch inputs and watch music videos.
That is
and
the one thing, because if like I did that, I wouldn't be able to read. Like, that if educational stuff I had to lock in and be like, this is hardcore, everything I have to memorize.
But see, I had already, like, at that stage, I was having to teach myself math because the school I went to didn't have anyone above Algebra 2. Like, and so I was my own math teacher from that on. Like, there was things I learned to read way above my reading level long before high school. So high school came and I was sophomore, I was reading easy college level. Like, no problem.
Unfortunately, reading at a college level at like 13 did not take me anywhere as far as I would hope it would have.
Oh, probably not. Yeah, it's no. It doesn't translate.
Look what I read.
You're like, look, I can read. Okay, that's cool.
That's great.
Really fast. Fuck.
Yep, I know. You're like, oh, I can. I got into speed reading in like 8th and 9th grade
That's
and
the
stuff,
thing, is,
and
like I learned to read like so later than all of my peers. And then once I got it, I just like ran with it.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I'm reading like Chronicles of Narnia in like 2nd grade.
Yep.
Full thing.
Yeah, my 2nd grade book report was, I don't remember if it was either Black Beauty or Gone with the Wind. It was one of those two. Was my 2nd grade book report.
Was that like a required across the class thing?
No, that was what I was reading because I read. My mom taught me how to read before I was even in kindergarten. So we went in and I was reading way above there. And when I was little, me and my 4 siblings, we read 5,000 books in one summer between us. And so it was in the newspaper or whatever. It was like, look at this. And I'm like,
Brandon's been achieving fame.
No, my parents have just been like pushing us to just always be doing something. And we had to read 30 minutes every day. And if we were bored and were too much of a pain, it was like, sit down and read. Go read a book. Like,
this is like versus my parents were like, oh, you can read, that's cool. Like, you figured that out, good job.
Yeah. I think it's because, so his wife and like my grandma, she was very much about education. So was her dad. So was my mom. So it was very much like, oh, no, you need to be very, very educated, very smart in what you do. And I'm like,
It'll take you places.
Don't see the same value in education that they definitely did.
That was my grandfather. But, like, my parents were just like, she'll figure it out if she won't. Like, yeah.
Were they the same way with your other siblings?
Well, my mom was a single mom. And then she met my dad later. Obviously, I came along. But I don't know. Like, I don't really... Like, she doesn't talk about anything, like, in that part of her life at all.
Wow.
Like, she just, like, here's your brother. I divorced his father. And...
that must have been a traumatic time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. And that's part of
She'll never open up about it.
Yeah, well, it's like I try to give her some leniency there because...
I mean, we still make our own choices, right? And it's not fair to you. I mean, it's like my dad, he will never say it, but he was abusive to me more on the physical side growing up, but that's the way he was raised.
Yeah.
Like, they would laugh about it, him and his brothers, and I would listen to their stories of how grandma would kick the shit out of him with anything she could get. A pan, a fucking coat hanger, a whip. Like, she beat the shit out of him. She was no taller than this Dr. Deborah switch. She was tiny, and these 5 boys were terrified of her.
Well, it's like, I feel like that is, for me, because I feel like our parents are probably closer in generation.
Oh, yeah.
Than, like, other people in our peer group. I feel like I'm the generation that got whipped and beat and stuff is my parents, and then I'm the next, like almost like a Gen X kind of style of parenting.
Oh yeah. You're definitely. I mean, you've been conducted and baptized. No, but I mean, definitely.
Is that what it equates to? Is getting beat really good?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like
Latchkey kid.
Latchkey kid. Yeah,
I was not a latchkey.
My parents both worked, and we during the summertime we were left to ourselves, but we took care of ourselves. We cooked, we cleaned, we made sure chores were done, the lawn got mowed, like everything was done. Our parents never had to ask. It was because we were left to be independent. And it was such a good thing, but the problem was that my parents, your parents, they didn't emotionally know how to connect with us because they were brought up with sociopaths that got from the war era. So they were just all about like work hard, get a lot of money, because they right after World War II, everything.
Have you met my dad?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, but that's being raised that way.
Yeah, I think the only difference is I didn't have a latchkey. Mine were like hyper crazy strict.
Oh yeah.
But past that, I got the abuse. That was great.
It's so weird though, because it's like my mother, when I like hit middle school, she's like, "You're going to be dropped off and picked up. There's no in between for you."
Yep.
She went insane about that.
Interesting.
But once I was in the confines of four walls, she didn't give a shit. Like, she's at the Sinners now, and they'll take care of her pretty much.
She's in a box. She's
and
safe.
At home, yeah, like, she's pretty much like, she has the doors locked. She's fine. Like, I'm just like a pet dog. Like, like she'll be fine. She's playing video games. Like,
there's
that's
a toilet. There's some snacks in the corner.
Like,
we put down toilet paper or newspaper.
Dude, real quick, you should shorten her mic.
Okay. She's
speaking to you. Yeah. So I want to make sure that because I couldn't hear her a little bit. No, I'm thinking in post for him.
How's that?
That seems fine.
Oh, perfect. Yep. Yeah. That's perfect. It was just a little too high. Did you feel it was a little up here?
Yeah.
So much better.
Okay.
Yeah. You'll hear.
Yeah, like just free range parenting. That's what it is. Like, my free ranging was more like, we gave you an N64. You're good, right? Like,
yep.
Plug that in, put it on channel like 32. Good. Okay, I'm gonna go to work now.
Don't let the house burn down.
Don't open the door. Don't answer any phone calls. Don't let the house burn down. You know where the fire extinguishers are. You know how to dial 911. You know your grandparents' phone number.
Yeah. Don't call me unless you're really bleeding.
Unless you are throwing up or bleeding, do not call me.
Yeah. And if you call, it'd be my mom was like a medical transcriptionist at the time, and it just sounded like rain on a tin roof. She's like, and she's talking to me while still typing. And I'm like, that's insane. But I'm like, Mom, she goes, why are you calling me? And
I've turned into that with like my parents call me. I'm like, hello? Okay, yeah, I'll be down. Sure, yeah. Okay, bye. Click, and I don't break contact with whatever I'm doing once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I'm editing. Usually, I hate to say it, it's usually my dad, but it's because it's not an emergency. So
I feel like they've turned, like, for me, my parents have gotten more needy as they've gotten older. Not in like the physical way, but in like the like emotional way. Like my mom,
validation.
Like, and I'm like, the fuck, where was this when I was like 13 and going through it?
Oh yeah, my dad has amnesia. My brother was like, he's like, yeah, you didn't remember that time when he was on top of you fucking punching you and shit, and I was hitting him to get off of you. He's like, what was that over? I'm like, yeah, I didn't wash his truck when he told me to. You know, it was I was playing Nintendo.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck are you I mean, my dad never swore. It was super funny. He never swore in English. He wouldn't even swear in Spanish. When I started swearing in Spanish, he lost his shit on me. He's like, we don't say that in this house. And he's still like that. Like, he'll say bastard if he's really mad. And I'm like, whoa, language. Because my brother and I are former military and everything's fuck this and fuck that. And he just sits around. He's like okay.
One of my earliest like memories I have is like of being loosely babysat. In other words, like there's an adult in the area by my uncle, and I would just sit on like the pipe where he would, like I said, it was at my grandparents' house and they lived super close to us, sitting on the pipe of their irrigation while he's working on his like army truck that he got like as he got out of the military, and he like had the hood come down on him. He just screams fuck, and my mom's like, what? And he's like, you didn't hear that? Just like completely denies it. And he's like, don't ever repeat that. to me on the pipe, and
But you couldn't forget that word.
no, and it just dwelled there.
Yeah, it did. I was like that too. My mom's like, yeah, you had a mouth on you since you were little. You'd be
I
running.
kept my mouth like so much to myself because my mom, like, just my grandma was like, that's not ladylike, even though she'd be like, goddamn idiots, goddamn this, goddamn your father. Like her little muttering as she would like I would.
And
totter
she's
along
from
with
the
her.
like old racist era.
Well, like that's the thing. It's like I feel like my grandmother.
I'm good.
Would love to, like, bless her soul, she would thrive in today, because like I really don't think she ever wanted to be married or any of that.
Yeah.
It's just that was kind of the lifestyle that it was back then.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you did.
My grandpa told me not to get married. He told me, lick it as
That's
much
that
butter
was my
off as
grandma.
much bread as you can. Don't get married.
And that was
And I
my
was like,
grandma's advice to me. She's
what?
like, you want to know the best advice in life? Don't ever get married if you don't have to. And I'm like, damn, grandma. Like, looking back, I'm like,
That sucks. They just got married to get married.
well, like, and the thing
Well,
was,
yeah.
you want to know his qualifications? It's kind of really sad. Is he just wasn't abusive. Like, he drank and he gambled, but he wasn't abusive.
Hey, maybe at that time,
That-
you know,
that
you
was fine
escape a
catch.
beating. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, that's when, like, you know, it's like, you ever heard about what the rule of thumb is? The rule of thumb is that a man could not beat his wife.
with a stick
with a-
wider than his thumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's yeah. And it's just like, that's how
I forgot
much.
that's what it meant.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's really fucked up,
Yeah.
right? But it just goes with those times, and they just evolve.
The last time I had some, like, weird abdominal pain, I was like, fuck, this is my appendix. Like, I just know it is. And, like, it's lower right-hand quadrant. This is my appendix. I gotta go to the ER. And so I go there, and they're like, are you able to walk? I'm like, yeah, this is only like an 8 out of 5, like an 8 out of 10. I mean, like, they're like, oh, do you need a wheelchair? I'm like, no, I can walk. They're like, oh, fuck.
What it ended up being?
Ended up being, they don't know, and that's how Timmy Tumor arrived.
oh, yeah. She named her tumor.
You got a tumor.
I have
Timmy
a tumor on my liver. Mind you, that's not the area that hurt at all. It was like down low where your appendix starts to hurt from.
Yeah, you sound like me too. A little bit of a hypochondriac when
Well,
something
it's like-
starts going. Like
When
someone
it's
coughs
internal-
around you.
Yeah, it's like no. It's like you can like cough on me, whatever. I'm an idiot, and I was unknowingly exposed to like 40 different people with COVID. Somehow never caught it. And
Yeah,
it's
we
just-
were like throwing stuff at her, licking her. Like
They
Emily,
made me lick the ground at one
Yeah,
point.
like she didn't
like I
catch it
masked
no
up
matter
and
what.
everything.
This is
but-
why I don't come to these parties.
But like I masked up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna be working from home. It's gonna suck because I'm like living in my parents' basement like an
Yeah,
idiot.
pre-manifest destiny, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I have to just stay healthy, and somehow, some way, never caught it. But now it's like you can like internal pain though. Oh my god, I'm like, it's an organ. This is it. Like my spleen ruptured or something. I'm like, well, I better call somebody to come get me. That way they find my dead body. Like.
Yeah, I do that. My
Like I left the key under the mat.
Legit, like I actually got violently ill like recently, and I left a key under the mat. Like, can you check on me before you go to work? And my boyfriend shows up. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel very good. He's like, are you gonna be okay? Do you need to go to the doctor? I'm like, nope, we're good. Like,
Oh man.
Yeah, if it's my time, it's my time. Like,
yeah,
I,
I'm like, don't pay for anything other than a direct cremation and put me in a Folgers can.
right? Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, don't even bother with that. Just
Oh, I
get like
just
a
told my
giant
wife.
slingshot on Amazon for $100 and like throw me into the ocean.
Dude,
Hook it up to some
shoot me
2
at
truck
your
beds.
enemies.
Yeah, exactly. Shoot me at like some building of some shitty company or something. Make sure I'm naked so I flop against the window.
dude, I'll just tell my wife because the Navy will pay for my funeral.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
think
and I
they
can
do
do
that.
burial at sea. They'll take my ashes out there and they put you in an ammo box
Oh, that's cool.
and they drop you in the ocean. I'm like, yeah. I've attended many of those
Yeah, I was
funerals.
gonna say my grandpa had a Navy funeral and it was mostly like there was some extra stuff that people got, but it was mostly paid for by the Navy.
Yeah, they'll pay for the cremation and
That's
all that.
crazy. Do
Yeah.
you think they paid for not the Navy? Do you think they paid for a lot of grandpas then? I mean, he wouldn't have
Yeah.
needed it.
And like
but-
you get like the 21 gun salute and stuff.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, you get like the old like.
one of the shells from grandpa's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, from the M14s. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get that.
Yeah.
So you just have to contact the VA and say, hey, you know, this guy kicked it. Because
I just knew they came and did like the flag and the 21 gun salute,
Mm-hmm.
but because they did
Yeah.
that at my other grandpa's too.
They did that. Yeah, they did that for Grandpa. Didn't they? Who did they get? Who got it?
Who got what?
The flag.
I don't
It's
honestly
usually
know.
the oldest sibling.
Yeah, but the problem is the oldest sibling he didn't show up, and he got absolutely nothing.
Oh,
So
see, we were.
I don't know who took the.
Probably Letitia.
In my family, the
Yeah.
oldest surviving sibling couldn't make it, and then the next one was in the hospital at the time. So my mom took the flag.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's like, I think she's like, if anybody wants it, you can have it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's going to be like, okay, no, just one,
Yeah,
just one.
right?
No, it's quite interesting.
Do you have another Great Prophet Ruth saying that everyone should write down that we just haven't
fuck it,
burned
just
into our
do it.
memory? Oh, fuck it, just do it.
That's a good line.
that's like my motivational phrase when I'm just laying it, but I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I'm like, fuck it, just do it.
All right, fuck it, just do it. That'll be like the Great Prophet Ruth shirts. Fuck it, just do it. And
Right.
don't yuck somebody's yums.
No, I could see that. It's all going to be lined up on one side. It says, fuck it, just do it. And then on the back, it's going to be a list of things.
Do you want to like the second? I'm like, just do it. I just have the Shia LaBeouf. Like,
Yeah.
he's my little inner motivation.
Dude, that's what we do. We just have to take her head and put it on Shia LaBeouf's.
Mike,
some weird. That's
That'd
some
be
weird
awesome.
shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, it'll match
AI
his
can do all
vibe.
sorts of shit. It'll be
Yeah,
great.
he's a strange dude. He could totally
Yeah.
do that.
Very strange, dude.
Yeah, he's such a crazy method actor. Have you ever seen the movie Fury?
No, I
The
haven't watched
World
that
War
one.
II movie. So he got ready for that one. He pulled a tooth out because he felt like his character had a missing tooth
Fuck.
and didn't shower for 8 months during filming because he wanted to be in character the
Wow.
entire time. And John Bernthal, he was like, that guy's just weird. He's just trying to show everybody that he's like, because he stunk
Oh, yeah.
really bad.
8
It's-
months?
Well, it's like, what's his name? Johnny Depp. On every single one of the Pirates of the Caribbean, he would not shower.
Like, have you seen Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
No, what?
It's Harry Potter.
It's Harry Potter. Like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's really weird.
It's great.
He had like a fake body dummy for like essentially like some stunts because I can't spoil it in any way.
Okay.
should watch that.
But he was like insisting. They're like, "Oh, we have a dummy for you, so you don't have to be in all these shots." And he's like, "No, I will be strapped to this man's back the entire time." The only time I think they let him use like the mannequin, which I feel bad for the other actor, but like was when like they're like it's too heavy to do it safely.
Yeah, it's
It's a weird
pretty
fucking-
funny.
did you guys
dude.
watch Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah, I've seen that.
oh, once. Yeah, but I think I need to get really high and watch it again.
Yeah, I need to too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a permanent chimera type of.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, you would disappear.
Pan's Labyrinth. Mixed
Oh.
bag.
Pan's
mixed bag.
Labyrinth,
Mixed
yeah.
bag
Go
on the
watch
whole
that.
feeling scale. I'm like, oh.
That's
Guillermo
the one
del
with the creepy
Toro.
white hand guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
the first time I watched it, I like was a little high,
Yeah.
and I thought it was gonna be like a cutesy fairy tale because it was when it was
Same.
kind of released.
No.
The second like he
So
takes
dark.
that wine ball and just, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this isn't a kids show.
No. Yeah, it was when Emily showed that to me. It was definitely a surprise. I don't think it was what I expected. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is. Guillermo del Toro is very dark.
It dark, and also he has some of the most beautiful composition.
Yeah, like, you ever see that one where there's
The music scoring?
No. Like
No,
his
there's another-
scene composition
Oh,
of just
okay.
like it's just
Oh, how
like
it's
a
all
painting.
stylized, yeah.
Yeah, it's like looking at a
Okay.
painting for the stills.
Oh,
yeah, and
that's
he's got a
cool.
big thing with vaginas.
Don't we
Yeah, a
all?
lot of vaginal, a lot of phallic shapes though too.
Totally. He did a movie where it was this. It's like the FBI had like
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Oh,
Thank you.
Fish
Actually,
fucker.
we went to go see Shape of Water. We did not know about the scene,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is an awkward movie. This is like watching a movie with mom and dad.
It's a weird show.
I love it. It's beautiful.
It's crazy.
It's fucking weird though.
I saw it once with Emily.
It's like if you want to watch more of it, like the first Hellboy.
Even Golden Army. I think Golden Army is stylized more Del Toro.
Oh, big time.
Where you have like I think it's Mignola is his name.
Mm-hmm.
The comics, they're very different, but it's like the same vibe, but two different like filters put on it.
Oh yeah, you go back even further to like Blade 2.
I never actually read those.
Dude, Blade was cool. Blade 2 was it was like the best Blades out of all those movies because Guillermo did that one, and he's just got a very unique kind of darkness. It's kind of like the same thing with Ridley Scott with Aliens.
Aliens. Oh, I love Aliens.
Oh yeah, Covenant. I liked the first one. I didn't like the second.
I liked Prometheus.
Yeah,
It's
Prometheus.
shot beautifully, but it's these like the actors are so stupid to me. Like I get it, they were given like the script, they have to follow that, but I'm like, dude, you're taking your helmet off on an unknown alien planet. Like, yeah, your scans initially confirmed it's okay, but I'm like, what if it wasn't?
Yeah.
Like, you'd never take your helmet off. I'm like, it is the most like beautiful looking movie because it has all those Giger influences and the aliens. I'm like, fuck, it is as stupid as a sci-fi movie.
Yeah, but I mean, Michael Fassbender was awesome as the android.
Oh, he's so fucking creepy.
Yeah, he is
He
creepy.
gives like the first aliens. I can't remember the android's name, the character.
Yeah, with the very first one, Alien,
Very first one.
in 1979. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But like he gives the exact...
He was the guy who was Bilbo Baggins.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, like it's the same exact vibe of just like human enough but unnerving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that takes kind of some creepy acting. It's like, what is his name? Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, from the series?
No,
The
from
movies.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and
Anthony Hopkins.
Yep.
Yeah, he can get real creepy real fast.
Sir Anthony
He plays
Hopkins.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Steve Carell, too. Watch the
Steve
movie
Carell gets
called...
really creepy?
Yeah, watch the
haven't
movie
watched-
Foxcatcher.
Okay.
True story about the heir to the DuPont fortune. He was all about wrestling.
What's DuPont? Why is that so familiar?
The oil
What's it?
company, isn't it?
Oil company, they sell chemicals, paints, all
Okay.
sorts of... They're a massive company. DuPont created napalm for the military.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah, they produce a lot of horrible
Lots of
things.
stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
pesticides, tons of stuff like that. Massive company, multi-generational. But, yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about like how unnerving Steve Carell could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he is like the makeup they do on him, and he is psychotic, and he's like he's trying to find, like, he wants to create Olympic wrestler, and he finds these two guys, actual wrestlers, these guys, and the whole story about how he's just so hyper fixated on him about winning that he ends up killing one of them because he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. He's like, nope. But he is really creepy in that movie.
The guy that made Spruce Goose and all that stuff in Vegas, he owned like the casinos. Leonardo DiCaprio did like a autobiography movie of his.
Oh, The Aviator?
Yeah. I'm like, God damn, this has got to be exaggerated for Hollywood now. I
Nope.
went crazy. Absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. He was so intelligent. Kind of reminds me of Elon Musk, where he's just super wealthy. He was an eccentric builder. I mean, the Spruce Goose was supposed to be the largest plane to be able to... It was like a water plane.
I think it was amphibious landing
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
but he just went off the rails and he ended up like locked up in... What is the casino he locked up? Because he bought the whole place out. He locked himself in the penthouse and just went psycho. He would like put like tissue boxes on his feet and shit because he was so scared of germs towards the end.
What?
Oh, yeah.
God, what?
I don't remember that.
I
That's
went
so
to the
weird.
mob museum and like they had like a whole section on how like the mob was involved with Vegas being built.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah. Like the sands and this like that. You watch... It's a dramatized timepiece, but called Casino. Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci and Sharon Stone, and it's about like how Vegas was built and how they built like these real characters, real people in that time, and how the mob just came in there and just like any competition, they just kill them. And it was all from like New Jersey, New York. They just kept putting money out there because they're like, oh, and they had Mormons.
The Mormon fort, the old Mormon fort. If you played Fallout New Vegas,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
met,
Ages.
I think his name's Gannon. You find him at the old Mormon fort. Like, there's a
That's
lot of
hilarious.
very historical things that they lifted straight out of like obviously Nevada
Yeah.
and like Good Springs. I've been to Good Springs now. And it's just like, I'm like, yeah, I can see where they got all their inspiration from, like directly. So I'm
That's
like,
really cool.
I'm super excited for the next season of Fallout coming out too.
I am too. I was surprised how much I liked that show.
Have you never played Fallout? Have you?
I have, not all the way through.
Which
but
one?
Fallout 4?
Okay, that's not my favorite.
No. There was
New Vegas peak.
Yeah, but New Vegas I couldn't find on PS5, I think
Yeah,
it was. It's
You have
so
to play it on
old.
PC.
You can
Yeah.
get it, I think, if you have the premium. The premium.
Oh, yeah, because it's not, you can't buy it to download. It's like
you can only stream it.
Stream it if you pay for their top tier service.
But I
And I'm like,
agree
don't-
because it has a rich, deep story. It goes closer to like the old Fallout.
Well, it has such a deep story,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's goofy as fuck.
Oh, have you ever played the original Fallouts? The
A little bit.
top-down?
They are brutal though.
The one is called Brotherhood of Steel. That one was awesome because they actually had some like really good voice actors, but it's what like the movie, the show that reminds me of that.
Oh yeah.
Because it's so in depth about the culture instead of just running around. Because 4, I agree. 4 feels like just like a first person shooter.
It's a really good first person shooter.
Yeah.
But it's not
Not Fallout. Yeah.
Yeah, like
lore, deep
well, like
story.
Fallout New Vegas and 3, the shooter sucks. Like the shooting part, I'm like, this is awful. But like the story
is good.
Oh yeah, that's the part. That's the hard thing to come across now. Brandon and I talk about is a story-driven game.
A good story-driven game.
Yeah, like I mean, Ghost of Tsushima was like the last one was like a really good story-driven action game. I was like, yeah, it's cool.
It was fine. It
but
wasn't
I want
super
more.
crazy long though.
No,
it was short-lived, and it was like, okay, now what?
Are you an RPG nerd?
kind of like I don't like definitely video games. I've never been able to get into like tabletop stuff, but
yeah, I'm video game tabletop.
I'm too smooth brained for tabletop.
It's just I can't capture it. We tried some D&D with a friend of ours, and we were just dicking around, and he was like really having
into it.
Yeah, he's so into it.
It's like I can see the fantasy and the escapism. Like it's no different than playing like Dragon Age.
Totally.
It's just Dragon Age is like you're seeing it, the story told to you.
Yeah. Well, it was even...
Inquisition was awesome.
I loved Inquisition. Dragon Age Origins is still top tier, though.
I don't think I've ever played Dragon Age.
PS3. It was so... It just was different. It was way ahead of its time.
Well, and it was an extension of, like, Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it felt like action, which really appealed to a lot of people.
Strategy. Like, you had the strategic... Like, you'd have pause, and then you just, like, all right, you plan this unit goes here, this unit... Or I think you can do it, like... live too, but I always played like the strategic, like you do this action then this and then like it's really weird.
Interesting.
Is
it like old World of Warcraft or StarCraft kind of game?
No, those are like RTS, like more or less like Warcraft
top
is RTS.
Down. Mm-hmm.
It's more like it's RTS, but if you had like to play chess RTS, like RTS, where like you have to stop and you get to think your move. You're like, okay, this is optimal. This happens. Like, have you ever played XCOM?
Oh yeah.
Not in ages.
It's like XCOM,
fucking brutal game.
It's more of a thinking game than a shooter, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. You have to plan everything out, your movements.
Way more strategic.
And your guys die permanently. That's why I really got into like a Nintendo, like on the 3DS. I really loved that one, but Fire Emblem.
Oh, yeah.
But the only one that I've really liked was this one with, I can't remember what it was called, Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening was one of the best, and I loved that game. Just deep story, but it was grid based, turn based,
like Final Fantasy Tactics kind of.
Yeah. But those games I can actually enjoy. I don't know why. But it's just calming.
It tickles like an analytical part of my brain that I optimize this absolutely to the max.
Yeah. No, it's exactly. I got Tactics Ogre Reborn. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics. But even like Final Fantasy and games like that, like the action with the RPG elements, we just don't get enough of those games. Now everything is just like fucking Fortnite.
Yeah. What have you been playing lately?
I long to play Oblivion Remaster, but that's not happening. I've been playing a lot of Repo.
Repo?
Have you seen the little trash can guys? Like,
no. What?
They're like, so like the whole...
I think my son plays this.
It's like Lethal Company, kind of.
Okay, yeah.
Same vibe, but you're little robots and you have to like repo people's stuff to like get to like a certain value and then you dump it. It's just it's so scary when you're alone because you're like, guys, where is everybody? Like, oh god, they're all dead. And then like when you're with them, you're like turn around, you're like break a plate, break this, break that. And it's funny as fuck. It's like the dichotomy of it.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
Maybe I have to check it out.
I've never heard of that. That's on PC, right?
It's on PC right now, yeah.
Do you play console?
I actually I don't for like multiplayer. I have like Final Fantasy Remake on PlayStation 4, like a bunch of single player games, like the closest I've come to like multiplayer games.
Did you finish Remake?
No, I played the original and it's the stupidest, most horribly written game. But it has my heart because it was like the first video game I ever owned.
It's past halfway. It gets less stupid.
Okay.
And when you finish it, it makes you pumped for the second. I bought the second one. It's like 140 gig. It's a pretty big game. gameplay is like amazing. The story is really robust now. Like how it felt like when you play Final Fantasy, you go to the second disc and now you're going in through more open world.
Yep.
This feels like it, but it's so massive. And I'm just like, I'm not ready for all this.
I think that's part of my problem with some of those games. I'm just like, oh my God, they took my childhood and blew it up to like 10 times. And
Yeah.
like, I'm so overwhelmed right now.
Me too. I was just like, this is so awesome. Like that came out when I was in the Navy. And I was just like, oh, this is so cool. But I couldn't get into it at the time.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like when I got older, I really got into those games. But other than that, like I like playing with other people, but I like to play like how Brandon and I play. We race, we'll play tactical games, and it's just fun. But
like
it's hard. There's like not a lot of other games that we used to have.
I knew so many people, funny enough, in the military that played like MMOs.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I played with like, again, unsupervised free range parenting here. Played a freaking MMO from like the age of like 13 until like 25. And I'm just over here, I'm like, God damn, if I would have devoted all that time to like, I don't know, learning math or something, maybe I could be like some kind of accountant at least.
I mean, you read at a collegiate level, so
Yeah. You know.
I mean, there's that.
That's great.
Yeah, math. Oh,
Those goddamn actuaries.
fucking math. No one ever got far with math.
I mean, have you seen what technology does now? It's like,
I know.
even growing up, they're like, you'll never have a calculator with you all the time. And I'm like, well, now you have.
He's in front of him right now.
Yeah.
Dude,
and-
you ever seen that movie called Iron Sky?
No.
Where the Nazis come attacking from the moon?
No, but that
Yeah.
sounds...
They stay up there. It's the funniest premise because they capture an astronaut from the U.S. and he's black. And they bring him in there and they're like, tell us why you're here. And he's just like, I'm just on the moon. I'm an astronaut. And they go, well, what is this thing? And he goes, oh, that's my kick-ass computer. And he goes, that is not a computer. And they open up this humongous old school room with these machines like whirring. Goes, this is a computer.
I actually, like, I really like, I know it probably wasn't Retro Future then, but like...
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Retro Future.
Oh,
movie?
it's so cool. Iron Sky, look it up because it is the weirdest movie. Because Iron Sky 2 comes there where they come back, the Nazis come to attack Earth and they have a Tyrannosaurus Rex that they ride.
Okay, I raise you that, but you gotta watch Hundreds of Beavers.
What?
Is
this a porno?
No, it's legit, like just a weird movie. It's 100%, maybe most PG-13.
Hundreds of Beavers. And what was the other one?
Iron Skies?
Iron Sky.
Iron Sky, because I'm all about obscure movies, like, because you grew up during that time too.
You got the bootleg HBO from your like cousins or something. They
there was
recorded
Neighbors,
this.
yeah.
Oh, see, we didn't have any neighbors where I was at, so we couldn't bootleg anybody's cable.
No. They would there was this family I told you about, the Haydens, all redheaded girls.
Okay.
The dad worked for the steel refinery that used to be here, and yeah, it was a disgusting house. It's like an ogre took a shit on it, and then they just didn't clean it up. I mean, there was like the floor was just smeared with whatever fluids and dirt were on the ground, and
They have like animals or something?
no.
Just nasty people?
Just now, I mean, like when you went into the house, it's kind of like the feeling if you ever played Resident Evil
That fucking game terrified me.
the first person one.
Yes.
Where you're in the house with the crazy family and you're like going through, places are dark, parts of wood are broken off. That's what this house was like.
I can't play first-person horror games. I have to watch play them because I'm too much of a chicken.
Oh.
I would love to do that one in VR.
Oh god, no. That
That'd
genuinely...
be so
Before
terrifying.
the crazy shit starts happening, that could just be like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre though. That could really happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's unlikely statistically.
But it could, yeah, definitely, because it sounds like one of these really fucked up things. Like you just stumble across this,
Like in a meth house somewhere in some swamp.
yeah, or like any type of Eli Roth movie. Like, didn't he do Green Hell, where there's like college kids are like, let's go discover the Amazon,
Yeah.
and then they get picked up by this cannibal tribe.
Have you watched Cannibal Holocaust?
Oh, I've heard about it. I couldn't go.
Is that an
far.
Electra series?
What was that?
Cannibal?
No. It's not anything to do with Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
I've watched it with Emily, actually. Wasn't it banned in several countries because of it just considered too violent?
What?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, because that used to get. You don't see it anymore. I don't think they'll even allow it. But NC-17 was all those like you know, because the ratings for
gore
porn.
flicks.
Yeah.
They're horror porn pretty much. It's just, and then you had like Eli Roth come out with like Hostel, where they're like,
fucking
Oh,
Hostel
yeah.
is brutal. Hostel 2
Hostel
is way
was-
more brutal in my mind,
Yeah.
though.
it's just gore. And
It's
Well, it stemmed a whole thing from there. Like there was a lot of super gory.
yeah,
I
Saw and
think-
all
yeah.
that shit.
I feel like at that time it was just trying to push the extreme, push the
Yes.
extreme, push the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Which, from like a makeup standpoint, like just like the special effects, I'm like, okay, like I see why this is fucking cool from one perspective.
yeah.
Other people are like, oh my god, this is so like.
But a lot of it was like these stories weren't as good in some of
No.
them, and I'm
They
like, it's
became
just
the most creative way to kill people. That's what Final Destination
Yeah.
turned into, which kind of like, not gonna lie.
It was like that scary movies. You remember those?
scary movies.
Yeah, the one where they have the saw thing, and they're like, you know, she's got this thing on her head, and the guy's got this thing where this probe's gonna go right up his ass if the timer goes off, and she's like, and then they get free of it, and she goes, "Can I put this on?"
Yeah.
Those movies were hilarious.
I haven't seen that in
Oh
ages.
man, that was so
I
funny.
don't think I've. I don't think I've gotten to that scary movie. I kind of gave up after like the Ring one.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
No, that's like 3 or 7. It's just these clips. They're funny. But yeah, the whole movie, I totally agree. Like going back and watching movies that you grew up with.
Sometimes it blows my mind. I'm like, holy shit, this was terrible.
Yeah, it was so bad.
See, like, there's a lot of like E.T. movies, and like people are like, this is my childhood. I didn't watch till I was an adult. I was like, I get the appeal, but it ain't for me. Like,
You know, I am convinced that Michael Bay is a shitty director.
What does he direct?
Transformers,
Oh,
Bad
okay.
Boys.
Yeah.
I like The Rock. That was my favorite.
he's a good meme.
He is a good
It's a
meme.
great meme.
But it's just like that's the only one I can think. I'm like, I like that because all of his movies are the same. I watched my wife and I when we were first married, we watched all the Bad Boys and we thought those were funny and good action. And then the third one came out, the geriatric version. And so we go to see that one and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I was like, the movies aren't that bad. And we went back and watched them. She's like, turn it off. This is so fucking bad. This is so bad.
Isn't that terrible though? You think it's like,
It is.
oh, this was so good, and you watch it, and you're like, oh, that was garbage. How did I like that?
There are some really good ones like The Godfather. Did you ever see The Godfather?
I never watched it
haven't.
through. It's a fucking. It's like as a kid, it's a boring adult movie kind of.
Oh
situation.
yeah, no, you can appreciate it now more on the style, but the culture of the time and how like terrifying it was with the mob being around. Like we have like cartels and stuff like that, and that's horrible in its own self. But the way that they did things was so brutal. It's like how they deal with it down in South America.
Yeah, it's the culture was again very brutal. The Mob Museum over in Vegas is
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah, how many bodies are buried out there in the desert?
Well, even like they have towards the end like a very big wall, and it tells you like what this person was famous for, like more minor mobsters, what happened to them, how many death attempts there were on their life, and like all these stats, and just tells you their story. It's really cool.
That's crazy.
There was like a couple female mobsters too.
Oh yeah,
I believe it.
Not many, but there were a few.
you ever seen the movie Goodfellas?
No, but never
Yeah.
watched it.
Oh,
I
watch
just
that.
I need to watch more like adult movies now that I actually have an attention span.
No, it's a good story. It's a
Yeah.
true story about this guy named Henry Hill from when he was a kid getting involved in the mob and then his rise and ascension in the mob and then what happened and the big fall and all this other stuff. The guy is still in witness protection. And he did this movie and it's insane. It's really cool because it's all true, but it's exactly that, like how horrible they were to each other and what they constantly were trying to kill each other.
That's pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And it's just the life.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
I don't know. So now you have an online Etsy. Mm-hmm. Do you have a name for it?
It's Apathetic Apparel.
Oh hell yeah!
I think that's what all my socials are too. Something like that. Apathetic Apparel Co. Something
Well,
along those lines, depending on the handle.
We'll
What's
definitely have
the
links for it.
focus?
It's like kind of like black metal theming or like album covers.
Oh, cool.
Kind of like you would see that like on an album cover or something.
Mm-hmm.
And just like kind of more dark theming
Yeah, art and stuff.
art. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you do like cover art for bands?
I don't. I used to actually do a lot of art, and then I just let those skills kind of go to shit. Like I could do like a decent sketch, but I usually will work with an artist. I have a couple that I work with fairly regularly that I'm just like, here's my rough draft, make it make it cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. So do you create custom for anybody, or you just like you theme it and then you put it out there?
I theme it. I'd like to eventually start doing some like limited time drop kind of things.
Oh, it'd be
like,
cool.
I have like a mind, and I like something in mind for like 420 maybe next year.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Everybody go check that out. That's really cool. I love the theme about that, because that's the one thing that products lack is soul. And when you don't have a soul, it's just random. Like, it's a difference of having a certain type of apparel. You're like, oh, I don't want to get any oil stains on it or anything like that, because you're like, this is something that
Well, like, I like a good t-shirt. Who doesn't?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
I would like eventually maybe like to go more into like cut and sew or something like that. But for now,
progression,
yeah.
But that's cool. Theme shirts. I love that.
Yeah. I love it. We'll put all the links in it. You
Cool.
can check them out. If this episode was the Gospel of Ruth, what would the last line be?
Same bad time, same bad place.
All right, guys. Take care.